What will happen to Wade Wilson in prison? So I discussed this in a previous video and I read some of the comments and I want to give a better explanation. So first of all, if you don't know who this man is, he is convicted of killing two women. One of them, he told his dad that she was still alive and he ran her over until she looked like spaghetti. He was hooking up with one of them, strangled her, killed her, ran her over. And then the other one, he saw walking. Somehow they had some type of discussion. He grabbed her, beat her, choked her, and left her in the woods for the vultures to eat her. He has a history from Palm Beach County of sexual battery on a woman and many other domestic and sexual battery on many different women. This man is a coward. But a lot of people in there were saying he's 6'6", he's, down with this group, down with that group. Let me explain how it works in prison. First of all, 6'6", 5'6", it doesn't make a difference. They're not having a sanctioned UFC fight. They're coming in there with a lawnmower blade that's been sharpened so sharp that it'll slice your head off. There's certain times in prison where you can't afford to lose a fight. It's not about the one-on-one. It's not about the respect. It's about making a statement. Now, the man got all organization tattoos on him. And obviously, these are a racial organization. And one thing about an organization that he's trying to proclaim and tattoo and even threw up hand gestures that, could relate to that organization is that they don't tolerate, someone who has bad paperwork, sex crimes, strangling women. I mean, that just makes your entire organization look weak. And two, you're doing all this in protective custody. If you look, he's in a turtle suit. He basically is in a cell where he can't have any property, any belongings, anything. And you're in there putting all types of, racial organization tattoos on you, acting like you're stamped and ready to ride for whatever they believe in. On court TV, you're doing a hand gesture. If you guys watch closely, when he gets convicted of the two murders, he does what's kind of like a 1-2, the camera zooms in on it. Now, that could be many different things, but with the tattoos he put on his face and that hand gesture, it is probably an organization that he is trying to be a part of. So an organization looks at that as just complete betrayal, because since it's a racial group, they need their members to be looked at as respected and, very disciplined, money oriented, very just on point at all times. Not a woman killing, sexual battery having coward. So they see certain tattoos and first they're going to want to know who sanctioned that. Then they're going to say, oh, he got it in protective custody. And in Florida prison system, what you have to understand is when you get sentenced to multiple murders, whether you get the death penalty or you get multiple life sentences, you're going up to the panhandle. And that's where it is very racial, especially from the guards. And they don't like, if you look at what happened in Lake Butler, they found so many members of the Ku Klux Klan and other organizations. They don't like when a member of their race is in prison for strangling and just doing the most cowardly acts. And then on top of it, the organization that he's trying to proclaim, that's against their laws. You cannot just murder women and sexually batter and just do all these horrific crimes and think you're going to represent an organization and a race. So that's where the officers and the convicts work together. Because a lot of times the officers are part of organizations that are racially divided. It's just the reality of how it goes. And a lot of times when you get these so-called just notorious piece of shit demonic motherfuckers in prison, they'll extort them for all types of memorabilia, have them bringing in all types of cell phones and dope and everything you can think of into the prison with all their groupies and all the sick fucks that actually glorify this person. But where he went wrong is claiming he is part of an organization. You can't lose face like that. You know, not all money is good money. And I know people will say, oh, convicts think they're so morally, ethically, this and that. But whatever you think, you can think. But the reality is some of these organizations are very disciplined, and they have fought and have caught life sentences, and some of them have gotten killed and beat, and they take it very serious. And some of them are doing life sentences feeding their families through this organization. So when they see somebody that's a weak coward putting what they earned in blood on their body, to them it's a mockery. And to the CEOs, it's humiliating. So the doors accidentally open and those tattoos get removed. And they're not looking to fight you. They're not looking to have a fair fight with you. They're looking to hit you up with a lawnmower blade until you are no more. And people say he'll be in protective custody, he'll be on death row. Do you know how many inmates have been killed on death row, poisoned on death row? Do you know how many inmates have been just accidentally beaten to death, stabbed to death on protective custody wings? Notorious gangsters like Whitey Bulger beaten to death when he was a notorious informant to the doctor who raped and did all that disgusting, just vile shit to those poor girls in the gymnastics and the Olympics, to the police officer involved in George Floyd's death. Whatever you believe, regardless, he was in protective custody in a federal prison as a cop, and he got stabbed up. So anybody can get hit up. It's not about time, it's about opportunity. Stay out, stay free, us.